So, hi. I have another book review to give to you guys, and, well, there's not much I can say to intro it other than this is a book review for Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Wha-ha! This is the second book in the Throne of Glass series, and as you can tell, it's a library book, so just pretend like I own it because I love it so much. Basically, this is like the best book in the history of the universe. Maybe not, but I thought it was pretty damn good. Like this was really good, and I'm just really excited to talk about it. So, if you haven't read Throne of Glass, the first book in this series, you should do that first because I don't want to spoil you. Like, that would be terrible. I don't want to do that. So, go read Throne of Glass. I have a book review that I'm going to post. I don't know if it's up yet, but I have a book review of that one that's coming. So, you can look up that book review, and then you can come to this one, and then you can fangirl with me because that's all this video is really going to be, is me fangirling. So, anyways, please leave if you haven't read Throne of Glass. Okay, and now we're on to the people who have read Throne of Glass, but they haven't read Crown of Midnight. Like, why have you not done that? Why? Like, I finished Throne of Glass, and I was like, I gotta read Crown of Midnight. And I did, and it was the best decision of my life. Like, some sequels, you're like, I still like the first one better. This one blew the first one way out of the water. Like, I thought Throne of Glass was really good. Nope! It was nothing compared to this beautiful, beautiful book. Basically, the part we're at in this story, Selena won the competition. She's now the king's champion assassin person. And you think that there's really nothing that could happen because, you know, like, that's the general premise, is she's the king's assassin for a book. Like, you think nothing can happen. That is the biggest lie I've ever heard. Like, so much happened, and I don't want to spoil you for it. So if you haven't read Crown of Midnight, I'll tell you, this is so close to 100%. Like, I think I would give it like a 99, and I don't think I'd give it a 99 ever, if not in a very long time. Like, it was so fantastic, guys. So good. Like, go read it, please. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay. I really don't know where to start because I read like the last probably 70 pages today, and like it's just been a whirlwind, and I have a lot of information that I've been going through, and it's just a lot, but it was so good. I got it from the library last week. I don't even remember what day, like Thursday, no, Friday. I got it Friday. It's now Tuesday, and it just like, it broke my heart, but it also made me super happy. But it also confused me, but it made complete sense. Like, it's a contradiction of a book, but it was so good. Like, Selena is more badass. Kale makes me love him even more. Like, more mysteries unfold. The questions are answered. Fleetfoot is fantastic. Like, new characters, old characters. Not really that many new characters, really, but so good! Guys, I don't know what to do with myself. I'm over it, but like, I don't want to read Heir of Fire yet because, like, I'm anticipating waiting until September for the next one, and I just, like, it was a terrible decision to read it before the next, like, before the whole series is out. I'm just, serious talking time. Let's just, Nehemiah is actually Nehemia. I feel like I should say that first because I figured that out about being, like, 3/4 of the way done with this book. I looked in the pronunciation guide in Throne of Glass. It's Nehemia. Nehemia. So, I've been saying that wrong, but quick correction, you know, it's only the second book, we got time. Nehemia died in this one, and I knew it was gonna happen because I spoiled myself, and I, like, was flipping through, and I didn't realize there were parts, you know? Like, whoa, I just had a very big moment of knowledge. There's parts. The book is set up into parts, which I didn't realize because I just went ahead to chapter 1 and did not see the parts. I don't remember what part 1 was called. I flipped ahead and found part 2. It's called The Queen's Arrow. We'll get to that in a second. And of course, I looked to the left and I was like, oh, hey, look, Nehemia was dead. Awesome. Great, wait, great, just awesome, just great. And so I knew she was going to die. I was totally like, I kept convincing myself it wasn't going to happen. I was like, you know what? Maybe Selena actually, like, looks closer and is like, oh, just kidding, guys. She's actually breathing. Or, like, maybe she'll come back to life because that totally happens in magic things. No, she's dead. Like, she's gone forever. That's fine. Whatever. But the realization I came to a couple seconds ago, the part 2 is called The Queen's Arrow. And I'm not sure exactly what it's referring to because I'm not Sarah J. Maas, but I think it's referring to the arrow that she gets in the first one. Do you remember that? She gets a gift at the the Yulemas ceremony, I think it was, and she gets Deanna, or the goddess of the hunt, she gets her arrow, and like we figure out at the end of this book that like she is descended from her, and like she totally faked us out there. Like we had the answers right at part 2 and we just like didn't see it. But also I was spoiled for the last page, so I knew she was the heir. But it was fine. It didn't make sense until the very last page where Kale was like piecing everything together, and like, I love books like these because it's like, you think you're getting one thing, you start the books thinking like, yeah, I know what's happening, and then you end each book and you're just like, I really did not know anything at all, and like, more questions than answers, and it's like Mara Dyer where you just don't know what's going on, but you love it because it's crazy anyways. So Naomi died in this book, and I really don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I could say so many things right now. I could talk about the ending. Dorian has magic. The king is crazy. Like, I thought I had so much to say, and it's just like, it won't come out because I just feel so many things right now. Gosh. Okay, let's talk about Selena, because she's an easy place to start with. I loved her character development in this book because, you know, in the first one, like, you can see she's kind of a badass, but it's mostly just, like, her being really, like, arrogant and being like, yo, I'm awesome. Like, can't you see that? No, Selena, you haven't done anything badass at all. Like, you maybe killed a guy here and there. And she did have her moments in the first book where I was like, yeah, go Selena. But, like, this one was like Selena on crack. Like, she killed people, she mutilated people, like she did torture, she like had her wicked smiles, and I just love her. And like, you start out the book and you're like, I can't believe you're killing people, and then she's like, hey, whoa, I'm not actually killing people, I'm not evil, like, calm down. And I love how she started out the book being like totally sane, and like by the end of this one she's just like, she's been through hell and back. Like, she lost people that she loved. She no longer trusts certain people. Like, she has tortured and killed even more than she did before. And, like, she's done it before, so she's, like, known how to deal with it. But we as readers don't know how to deal with it because we haven't seen her go crazy until this book. Like, the scene where she was, like, torturing and mutilating Grave, I was just sitting there and I was like, Selena, come back from the craziness because this is not good. And like, I was really happy when she got to show it to the king and be like, suck on that, bro. Like, I found your assassin. But like, at the time, I was extremely terrified and freaked out because she went to town. I loved her in this book. Like, she had her moments where she was sweet, you know, and like when she and Kale were like dating, kind of, like, that was cool. But like, overall, she's just becoming more and more badass, and like, we finally get some information about her, thank God. And like, I feel like we all could have guessed that she had magic. Like, we know she had magic, but like, we could have guessed that she was Fae. And I think in time I would have found out myself that she was like the heir of Terrassen or whatever it's called, and like, it totally all makes sense. But the fact that Kale now knows is like, oh man. Oh man. Kale, my baby. So Kale is my new book boyfriend, in case you were wondering. And I still love him. But I've had moments at the end where I was reading and I was like, dude, you're so desperate for her. But God, I love him. Like, I think that for a second and then I go back to loving him because they just had so many good scenes. And I'm so glad that they had a chance to have like a happy dating life for a second there until it all went to hell. The more this went on, and like, now that we got to the end where she was like, I would pick you, it doesn't make a difference, I'd pick you, like, I still think they can come back from this. Like, she's gonna get to the point where she accepts it and she's gonna be like, you know what, dude, you would have saved her, but like, you were blinded by your love for the king, and like, I don't know, I just feel like they'll get together. I'm still rooting for them because I feel like Dorian could find somebody else. You know, like, just because he happens to be a magical heir and Selena happens to be a magical heir, like, they don't have to get together, right? Right? I just loved this book. It was really fantastic, you guys. like the planning and the writing was okay. I still love the different POVs because you get these random POVs. Random POVs! Let's talk about this right now. So, I'm just now making sense of this. But there was a random POV she threw in there, like halfway through the book, where she just threw in this slave girl POV and she's like, I'm in Caliculla and I like survived but the rest of my family died and like I am ready, and she like picks up the axe and like kills some guy, I think. But like, I forgot about that until just now. But it makes sense because in like the end of this book, we get a POV from the king and he's like, oh yeah, I've hidden the slave revolts in Caliculla, like nobody knows about that. Like, I just put that together now. That's how dumb I am. But she still gives us these random POVs, and I love random POVs, especially when they don't like make sense at the time. Like, the POVs that make no sense are the ones that end up making all the sense in the world. Like the scene where Nehemia is talking to Elena, and at the time we're like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just doing this? Like, what? Like, she knew she was gonna die, and she just did it for the greater good. Like, what? It's like Dumbledore almost. Like, Nehemia is Dumbledore, but better. I loved how she ended it. Like, I thought it was really good. I was getting to the end of the book, and I was like, where is this going? Like, usually you get like, you know, you go up a climax and you come down and that's it. Like, that's the book. But like, I felt with this one, there was like, I couldn't tell where the climax was. Like, was it, like, I don't know where it was. But eventually, we get to the point where I just love the ending. Like, the last couple pages where he's like, Selena is the heir to Terrasen or whatever, Terrasen. And then he's like, and we pretty much just put her in the perfect position. Like, we sent her over to her homeland where her aunt and her cousins are all powerful, and like, basically she's the only person who knows about the king's magical powers, and like, I can't tell how Kale's feeling. Like, is he excited? Like, he sinks to his knees and that's it. Like, is he sinking to his knees like, anguish, this is terrible, my king is gonna be defeated? Or is it like, oh my gosh, Selena's gonna win, she's gonna beat everybody and it's gonna be awesome? Like, I don't know. Whose side is Kale actually on? Like, I think he's on Selena's side, but we don't know. Like, he could still be on the king's side. Whatever. I don't think he is, but he could be. Dorian has magic. What does that mean in the coming books? Like, who's gonna teach him about magic? When is he gonna meet Mort? I want everybody to meet Mort because Mort is hilarious and awesome. And he just, I don't know. I love him. I think he's a great character. And Archer killed Nehemia. So that was a moment. Oh my gosh, a really crazy moment that I just like lost it. The scene with the portal, with the demon, and like, the moment the demon like takes Fleetfoot and puts him in the portal, and then Selena watches Kale go back into the portal for Fleetfoot. I was just like, you can't kill my boyfriend and a dog in one chapter. Like, you can't just kill them both in one sentence. And thankfully, Selena went and got him out, but that was a moment where I was just like, no, I refuse to believe that this is the end. Baba Yellowlegs. Interesting character. Finally she's dead. That's really good. The fact that the king knows about her was interesting. Like, we always get king POVs at the very end where we're like, we figure everything out, and then at the end it's like, oh, by the way, I knew all of this. Like, thank you for telling us, Mr. King, dude. But, the whole time we were in Baba Yellowlegs, like, in her area, whenever she came onto the screen, onto the page, I don't know if you've seen Stardust, but the Stardust movie is based on Stardust by Neil Gaiman. And in the movie, there's this witch who is really ugly, and it's a very long story, but there's this ugly witch, and she has a wagon type thing. And the whole time Baba Yellowlegs was on screen, I just pictured the witch from Stardust because I think they're perfect. They, like, make sense. They're the same person in my mind. Now I think I've spoken enough because I'm making no sense. So, I loved Crown of Midnight, and I can't wait to read Air of Fire. Obviously, I have it. I got it at the library the same time I got this one. Because, like, I can't, like, not want to read it. Like, it's huge! How, should I flip to the last page? I feel like I shouldn't, but, I'm really, okay. 562. I didn't look at the last page. I hope you guys are really happy with me. I didn't. Oh, man. Guys, Air of Fire is next. I'm so excited. I finally get to catch up to everybody. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching, and, I'll see you when I read Air of Fire, so peace out. Also, I got bangs. See ya!